Leo Cloutier is brought to you by Posterfix.
This is Leo Cloutier with Malice to Wooden, and once again we have as our guest today star sportscaster of WHDH-TV, Don Gillis. Don, you've watched many baseball games. We're in a baseball park now. This is the best subject we have at hand. What is probably the best club you've ever watched in action?
I think that probably for one season in any one sport, I would have to say the Boston Celtics of I think it was either 64 or 65. I can't remember which one, but it was the year in which they just absolutely, totally dominated everything. And I don't think I've ever seen any club that performed as well or seemed capable on a major league level of defeating any team it wanted to at any particular time.
How about in baseball?
Well, in baseball, the teams that I remember, let's see now, I guess that 1954 Cleveland Indians team with the overpowering pitching when they won over 110 games, that looked like an absolutely unbeatable team. And, of course, Leo DeRocher took care of him and the Al Lopez in the 1954 World Series, as we well know.
And they had those four fabulous pitchers at that time.
Fantastic pitching. And I have always felt that pitching was, as Connie Mack said, 75% of baseball, and they proved it. They just absolutely dominated everything except the World Series.
What about the best hitter you've ever seen in baseball?
Oh, no question about that. Number 9, Ted Williams. Absolutely superb hitter. Just too much as far as I'm concerned.
And you know, Don, you go to the various dugouts today in the major leagues, and then you go to number 9, and what spirit?
The guy just absolutely, Leo, he had so much charisma. Anyways, he came up to the plate. Everybody in the ballpark just looked at him. When he walked up there, he'd have that bat in his hand and wrenching the handle and sawdust dropping out of it practically. And then he'd go up there and had the marvelous command. You felt that he could get a hit, or he was going to, if he wasn't going to hit, he was going to hit a line drive, screaming line drive that somebody was going to grab. He just absolutely dominated the batter's box when he came up there. And when he hit the ball, it was hit with such fantastic authority.
And you know, Don, he still has enough of that little boy in him today to have that spirit to reflect on the rest of his ball.
That's very true. I think he's done a marvelous job with the Senators, particularly what he's done as far as hitting and pitching, because no one has ever studied that little game between the two men, the pitcher and the batter, better than he has. They're not theories with him. He proved them to be true.
That's all right. And you know, Don, once you start to interview or talk to the fellow, the first question comes high, but after you hit the second one, he falls in line, and then he can go on for days and days.
The very best interview I ever had in my life I had with him one day. We talked about hitting. He was extremely busy at the time. We had agreed to do the thing. We did one. The camera had some difficulty, so I had to come back and tell him. And after a little explosion by him, not at me, but at the inefficiency, as he said, of cameraman at the time, he agreed to do it. As it turned out, it was a day on which he also had to do some things for the Jimmy Fund. He also had to meet a senator. He had several things, which he always did on his mind. As a wonder he could play as well as he did. And he said, I can only give you 5 minutes. And I said, okay. Knowing that I had 15 to go, we loaded up the camera. He went 18 minutes, and it was sensational.
That's just substantiates what I said. Once he gets into it, after that second question, there's no stopping him. Well, Don, I see that our time is up, and I certainly want to thank you very much for this interview. It's been a pleasure having you as our guest, and I want to wish you continued success, good health, and good luck to you for many, many years to come.
Thank you very much, Leo.
Well, this was an interview with Don Gillis, the star sportscaster of WHDH-TV in Boston, and this brings us to the end of With Malice to Wooden for today. Until tomorrow at the same time, from Fenway Park, Leo Cloutier. Good day.
To learn more about Leo Cloutier's sports world, go to leocloutier.com. Leo Cloutier is brought to you by Posterfix, where we bring your vintage posters back to life.